COVID-19 has been hard on the mind, body, and spirit, but coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we'll meet a man who teaches all of us how to be invincible. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox. Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Boy, if we ever needed a lesson on how to be invincible, it's now. 2020 is going to go down, and I think in everybody's life as a low point. It's been hard on the mind, body, and spirit. There's a lot of depression out there. There's a lot of substance abuse, people self-medicating because they're depressed, millions of Americans out of work. But it's all about grit. And to talk about that today is Scott Phillips. He's the owner of Invincible Jiu Jitsu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about your background, because I mean, you're almost like right out of central casting in the movies, because you've really had quite a life.
Yeah, man. I've been blessed. I'll be honest with you. I've been blessed. So I grew up here in Texas, and I had a pretty successful athletic career, and it allowed me, to be physically fit and confident. And I joined the Navy, became a Navy SEAL. I lost my mind, decided I wanted to go and be where the best warriors on earth were. And so I went and did that, and man, I was so blessed and honored to work with. I tell people all the time, I'm no war hero, man, but I served with a bunch of them.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, man, thank you for being an American worth serving. You know what I mean? So so I did that, and then started having kids and a family, and I got out of the service, and I did some other things, and then God called me into ministry. And, and I personally thought I was going to be coaching because I'd coached my kids in all kinds of sports, and, but he had a different idea for me. And so, it was Navy SEAL. I grew up fighting, boxing, kickboxing, traditional martial arts, SEAL team hand-to-hand, then Navy SEAL, then got out, did some other things, and then bam, he called me into being a children's pastor.
Wow.
And right, that's how y'all's children's pastor, that was the path they took, right? And and nobody was more surprised than I was at that. And but when I was in the Navy, I began training in Gracie Jiu Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And so I've been training about 27 years, man, and I've been teaching for 20 years. And about 5 years, I started a Jiu-Jitsu Academy, full-time Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Wiley with a great friend of mine, Charlie Busby. And man, we've been training people about 7 days a week, honestly.
Wow.
Ever since.
Well, let's show some pictures of your academy, because I think it's really impressive. We were talking before the show that, Jiu-Jitsu is just a tool.
Right.
It heals the whole body, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Our academy, Jiu-Jitsu happens to be the tool that we use to help people master life. And man, you can even Google Jiu-Jitsu changed my life, right? It literally changes the way people feel about themselves. We tell people all the time, whatever it is they want to do in life, our Jiu-Jitsu, our program, and it's all about leadership and success, and really teaching people how to win. Yeah, honestly, I mean, man, if I could, if I could get a hold of the Cowboys, right? Like we could win. I'm telling you. Like
Somebody called Jerry Jones.
Hey, I'm all I'm saying. They put me on staff. We start winning Super Bowls. No doubt about it. That's a true story. Yeah.
I would love to see a Super Bowl ring.
Hey, me too. Me too.
As an official jiu-jitsu trainer of the
Yeah,
Dallas
man.
Cowboys.
But that's the power in what we're doing. You know, and you mentioned the people being fearful in these times with COVID, and before the show we're talking, Amber, about people being attacked and things. And if I could give somebody a drink, and they could take a drink and feel what it feels like to walk around with this jiu-jitsu that we have, with this merited supreme self-confidence, right? Man, people would mortgage their homes to get it. You know what I mean? Like if they could just walk around with it for a little bit.
Tell me a success story. Is there a child, and you've been doing this for a long time, is there a child who kind of stands out in your mind of this is what they were before and this is what they were after?
Honestly, at least once a week, somebody comes to us with a new story, and oftentimes it's after they've only been training, for just a couple of weeks. There was one kid who he came in and he had auditory issues. He was, and man, at the beginning of class with the kids' classes, we played dodgeball. Man, we cranked the music up. Kids want to have fun, so we start off the class with fun. And dodgeball, by the way, is an incredible agility and athleticism builder. So anyway, in the very beginning, man, he would close his ears and he would want to leave. And so I would get him in and say, hey, man, I need you to help me. Would you help shag dodgeballs or whatever? And gradually work his tolerance up to the volume. And it just allowed him to cope with the thing that gives him anxiety.
Wow.
And I've seen that with adults as well, man. Every adult that comes in, everyone that comes through the door is dealing with something. You know what I mean? Like whether it's anxiety, low self-esteem, low self-respect, a lack of confidence. I ask moms a lot about daughters. I'll ask them, I'll say, hey, do you know a young lady, or, who struggles with self-image, self-respect, self-identity, self-confidence, whatever. And a lot of times they'll start crying because they're picturing who they see, right? Sometimes it's them. Sometimes it's their daughter. And I'll ask them, I'll say, well, now, did they play volleyball and softball and soccer and basketball and dance and cheer and tumbling and all that stuff? And they'll say, yeah. And I'll say, and all that stuff failed them. All that failed them. Now, you go talk to a jiu-jitsu girl. Go talk to a jiu-jitsu lady and about their self-confidence and their self-esteem and self-respect. And it's a whole different ballgame because of the ability. This past 4th of July, we have the kids, we do it with adults as well. We have a leadership talk, and we talk to them about, the 4 reasons we do jiu-jitsu, how it enables them to dominate every other area of their life. And it was Independence Day, and I said, hey, what was this holiday we just celebrated? Independence. We got a lot of sharp kids, man. They're so smart. And one of the kids says, Independence Day. I'm like, yeah, so why are we independent today? And they kind of, and I said, was it our ability to play soccer that made us independent? Was it our ability to play the piano? Was it our ability to throw a pigskin? And they're like, no. I'm like, it was our ability to fight. We're free today because of rough men and women back then who could defend themselves. And without the ability to defend yourself, you cannot truly be independent.
Wow, that's profound.
And those kids are like, yeah, right, because that's what they're learning to do, And now, don't get me wrong, I have 4 sons. They're all athletes. I was an athlete. I played football till I thought I was tired of playing. And, and the point is that what we're doing allows them to master life. Whatever area that is. They want to be doctors, scientists, rocket scientists, astronauts, Navy SEALs, Greenberg, whatever it is. Talk show hosts,
right.
PR guys, movie stars, actors. And what you're starting to see is a lot of those people are starting to get into what we're doing because they see how it makes them better at their craft, you know. So
I'm so impressed. We've got a little video we're going to roll, and I want you to kind of narrate for us what we're watching.
So I'm trying to see who that is. I can't really tell who that is. So I'm rolling with, I'm rolling, we call it wrestling, with one of the kids, and that is a while. That's been a little while since that match. But so yeah, man, I'm acting like I'm, you know, trying to slap him or hit him, and you know he's doing a great job getting me into his guard and defending himself, you know, and it looks like Wyatt Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that's who it is. But
would he be a new student?
Yeah, so that kid, he's been training a little while.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm going to tell you, I think that is Wyatt. So it's so funny because the difference, we talk about jiu-jitsu, our jiu-jitsu being a superpower. And people, you know, a matter of fact, I asked the kids the other day if they could choose any superpower, what would it be? And the ones who've been around a little while, they're like, jiu-jitsu, 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 you know. And so I was talking to them about perseverance, you know, about how if they set a goal and they start working, doing the things that they know to get to that goal, 99% of the time, all they have to do is not quit, and they'll reach their goal. If they just persist. The problem is most people are quitters. When something gets hard, or when something's no longer fun for them, or when you know, they get criticized, or you know the deal. I know you've experienced it. Usually everybody's experienced it. And perseverance is a superpower. And but the jiu-jitsu enables them, and we tell, like, hey, you don't have to be great today or tomorrow. All you have to do is keep walking through the doors. If you just keep walking through the doors, man, 10 years from now, you're going to be somewhere. You might as well be a black belt, you know? And they get it, you know what I mean? They get it. And it genuinely allows them to accomplish whatever goal they want to accomplish and master life.
Well, I was reading your website, and this is a slightly different type of jiu-jitsu than most people are accustomed to, right? It's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so the Gracie family developed this jiu-jitsu. They took just the term jiu-jitsu originated in Japan. It was the art of the samurai. It was all about really, you know, use on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. And so when the samurai went away, jiu-jitsu, the traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu, kind of split into what is now Japanese jiu-jitsu and judo. And our style of jiu-jitsu was developed and refined by the Gracie family, who are the ones who created the modern MMA that we know today, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, yes. Mixed martial arts. My instructor was Helson Gracie. He's from the first family. He was the guy in Brazil nobody wanted to mess around with on the streets. You know, we were talking about streets. And and so I was very blessed my SEAL team was stationed in Hawaii. That's where Helson was at. And man, it was a blessing because man, his personality and my personality jived when it came to real self-defense, you know. And so I was able to train directly under him for many years. Went to Brazil, fought in the World Championships on his first team that went to Brazil. Wow. With a great bunch of guys. And, you know, so, and I've been training ever since. So.
All right, your favorite martial arts movie?
Man, you know, I probably saw, and it's crazy because it's totally, you know, 180 out from jiu-jitsu for the most part. But Enter the Dragon back in the day, with Bruce Lee. Yeah. You know, I used to go over to my uncle's house, my Uncle Donnie, and watch that. I probably saw that movie 50 times. But even in that, Bruce used a little jiu-jitsu. He used an arm lock on somebody, tapped him out.
Worst jiu-jitsu movie? I mean, I'm thinking about like Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah, man, I don't even know if I saw that one. There's some crazy, I'm not going to criticize.
No.
There's some crazy, and I'll be honest with you, like, I love movies.
Yep.
I love a lot of the, like, Chopsaki, Hi-Ya, Flash, and all that. It doesn't have to be 100% realistic. I heard a guy say it's got to be, when it comes to movie fight scenes and tactics, it's got to be, doesn't have to be realistic, but it's got to be believable and possible. You know what I mean?
Well, and I know you're sworn to secrecy, so you really can't divulge anything. But people may be seeing you in a movie soon.
Yeah, man. I've been very fortunate to do some tactical consulting and fight choreography and a little bit of stunt stuff and actually get in a little bit of a small role and then maybe supposed to be featured more in some upcoming
What's
films.
Jackie Chan like?
Man, I don't know. Jackie Chan's awesome, man. Like, Jackie Chan is incredible.
Is he in your movie?
No, he's not. I wish. Jackie, if you're out there, man, let's work together.
You noticed I said your movie.
Yeah,
right?
No, Jackie Chan's, he's incredible, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. He's lived an incredible life.
Well, you have been an amazing guest. We're absolutely going to have you back again. Let's put the website up so everybody can get in touch. InvincibleJujitsu.com is the website. Scott Phillips. Thank you so much for blessing us with your wisdom.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Right on.
And that's it
God
for
bless.
now. We'll see you next time.